Journalist Lauren Windsor has dropped a secret recording of Justice Samuel Alito, admitting that he is not exactly impartial.
As a Catholic and as someone who really cherishes my faith, I don't know that we can negotiate with the left in the way that needs to happen for the polarization to end. I think that it's a matter of winning.
I think you're probably right. I think one side or the other is going to win. I don't know. I mean, there can be a way of working, a way of living together peacefully, but it's difficult, because there are differences on fundamental things that really can't be compromised. They really can't be compromised. So it's not like we're going to split the difference.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that the solution really is winning the moral argument. People in this country who believe in God have got to keep fighting for that, to return our country to a place of godliness.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah, oh man, I don't know. Living together peaceably, really hard to do. It's difficult. Well, I mean, I guess an example of that is the feuding with the former liberal neighbors that you had. That with the whole your wife hanging down a "Stop the Steal" flag. Yeah, but you know what? There are things that cannot be compromised. Now, again, that's in the context of how do you work with the left and reduce the political polarization? I mean, saying that, as a Supreme Court justice, you're supposed to be impartial. That does not really sound very impartial, okay? Now, as well as the disturbing thing where I agree with you that we need to return our country to a place of godliness. What does that even mean? Look, I understand that as a Supreme Court justice, as a person, I should say, you can have your own opinions. Obviously, you're going to have your own opinions. You're going to have your own biases, right? I get that. But when it comes to ruling on the bench, as a judge, you are supposed to look at precedent and the Constitution. You are not supposed to have a clear political bias, again, based on party and ideology. Okay, it's supposed to be, is this constitutional or not? Does this have established precedents or not? But what we have now with Alito and other justices are conservative activist judges, okay? They've overturned established precedent, like, for example, Roe v. Wade. They overturned that. Apparently, abortion rights are one of those things that he believes cannot be compromised, okay? We can't compromise with the left on that, okay? We have to make it so that right-wing red states can literally criminalize abortion, even though, again, it doesn't affect people who are, again, it doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect them. If you don't want an abortion, don't get an abortion. It's not like mandatory forced abortion. No, it's not being forced. It's just literally having the right of bodily autonomy. But once again, that is something that conservatives are like, we cannot compromise with that. We have to make it so that we're going to come after it. And we're going to come after Obergefell, gay marriage. We're going to come after contraception. That's one of the things that, Justice Thomas had said, we need to go and take a look at that again, Oh, that was right after Roe. All right, so once again, this is why these justices cannot be trusted to be impartial. And it's also why around only 40% of the country approves of the job the court is doing. Okay? Right-wing activist judges. Now, of course, in that very same, undercover, audio, which, by the way, Lauren Windsor, this is what she does. She goes and she, poses as a conservative, gets into these events. I don't know how she does it. Asks some questions and then records them. That's awesome. and she's very ballsy and amazing for doing that and dropping these scoops. That, unfortunately, too many people are like, we kind of expect that. Exposing that is a very good thing, and I love that that's what she does, and I think it is vital to get this out there, because it does show what these people really believe in, what they think. Now, he says, though, getting back to the topic of, oh, there's not a lot of trust in the Supreme Court. He says, it's easy to blame the media, but I do blame them because they do nothing but criticize us. And so they have really eroded trust in the court. You understand that? He's like, media for criticizing us. You're the ones that have eroded the trust. No, that's actually the opposite. It is justices like Alito and Thomas that have eroded the trust in the court by being massively right-wing activist. Okay? That's what's been... All media has done is just report on it. That's it. Oh, but it's the media. How dare they criticize us? We're Supreme Court justices. We're supposed to be above criticism. No, you're not. The job of the media is to report things that you've actually said and done. Okay? And believe, it's not the media's fault that you're not trusted, that nobody trusts you. It's yours. It's yours. Again, Alito here, along with Thomas, has been taking gifts from right-wing billionaires like Harlan Crow. They have sympathies for the Capitol rioters. That's what the whole upside-down flag thing was about, okay? And then, of course, you look at the Ginny Thomas and her text with Mark Meadows. Come on. And by the way, getting back to Alito and the flag, he lied about this. He said, my wife, she likes flags. And she was just doing it as a result of the neighbor's use of a vulgar language on a yard sign, which children could see. You couldn't even see it from your house because you can't see their house. Couldn't see their house from where you live. Okay, so no, there was a lot of dishonesty here. Look, they've been feuding with those liberal neighbors for some time. At the end of the day, though, I think what's important here is the implications of this, right? We know that there's biases. This is confirmation of what we had already suspected from Alito being massively, again, conservative and, impartial, super biased. I should say not impartial, super biased against the left and for the right wing, etc. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Okay? I believe that Thomas and Alito should not be allowed to decide on things like Trump's immunity claim or on any January 6th related case, okay? Because, again, you have a massive bias here. That said, we also know that nobody's going to stop them. And that's why they're so brazen about this. I mean, allowing yourself to get caught on camera and audio at these right-wing events, okay, these massively right-wing events, you're going there and you're openly saying this to other who you assume to be other conservatives. I mean, it shows that that nothing's going to happen. You're not being very careful about this, okay? Because there's no consequences. And that's the other problem, right? So then when nobody does anything about it and they make a decision to go and help Trump or the MAGA rioters with favorable decisions, people will not be able to look back and question, how did this happen? How did this happen? Because the answer, we already know the answer. They're massively biased. They're massively partial to one side. And yet, the people who can do something about it, Congress, haven't and won't. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.